Dum 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 dum. Dun dun. Ba-dum. What's going on, Internet? It is Josh back with another episode of Sometimes I Say Things, series I'm going to just ramble on and talk about things that come into my mind, typically as they come into my mind. Doesn't always have a purpose, doesn't always have a significant meaning to anything going on in the day. Sometimes it might, sometimes it may just be the thoughts I'm having for the moment. So today's been kind of one of those days where I'm like, what do I want to talk about? I got a few different things that keep popping into my head. Family related topics. Me and my wife, we're talking about maybe getting a puppy dog. We want to get a dog. Looking for a dog for my little boy. And for me, because I like the puppy dogs, and that's something that I don't know what we want to get. I feel like me personally, I used to own a boxer. I loved my boxer. Her name was Pixel, and Pixel is great. She was awesome. She was a great dog, and she was probably the most frustrating dog I've ever owned. Just because boxers are like teenagers. They're very rambunctious. They're in trouble. They're always causing problems, and it's almost like they know they're causing problems. But then when you get onto them, it's like you just scolded your child, and now they're hurt for life, or the next 5 seconds, whatever, whichever comes first. But we are wanting a dog. I have a 2-year-old, going on 2.5-year-old now, son, and he is he's 2.5, so he's little, like most 2.5s are. In that case, boxers, although they're not aggressive, they're not mean, they're not gonna bite and stuff like that. They're very playful, and they'll knock a kid down. Just, hey, I'm gonna jump up and grab you. You're gonna have to hold me. They don't realize that little 2.5-year-old don't have the strength to catch that dog, and they're gonna go to the floor. And so I can't have that. I can't have that going on. So that's out the window. What I do think would work is like a small puppy that's gonna grow over time, but not be aggressive, but also not be so rambunctious. A lap dog, or just a big fluffy poofy animal. I don't know if you guys got suggestions, toss them down in the comments. Also, while I'm talking about the comments, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy these daily ride-alongs, then show me a thumbs up, man. Give me a share the video type of deal. Anything is helpful. I appreciate it all, really do. And I'd like to do this to where it's like it becomes something big. Right now I'm looking at staying around 5 or 6 minutes for the videos. Might change as time goes on, but as of right now, this seems to work for me. Maybe going up to 10 minutes. We may take this one to 10. I'm driving home. I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. But yeah, so there's the dog. We want to get a dog. We don't know what we're looking for, but we definitely do want to get a puppy. Preferably one that's not going to be hard to train or a lot of trouble. Chewing up cords and shoes and clothes and furniture and all that good stuff. So there's that. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot going on. I kind of had a few things on my mind I was thinking of talking about. One of those is my testimony. Like I said, this channel is going to be heavily involving my Christianity and my walk with God and my faith, my personal religion. And that part of this channel is going to be unapologetic. Not saying I'm not going to make mistakes or say things on the channel that, I might later say, hey, sorry, didn't mean it that way. Like yesterday when I said that, I talk on the phone at my job 24/7, 24 hours a day. That doesn't happen. But as far as my Christianity goes, my walk with Christ and my faith, I'm going to be unapologetic about that. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to step on anybody's toes or anything, because I think we all do that from time to time. But if I am wrong, then yeah, I'll come to you and I'll let you know. And that's with anything in life. I mean, I want to be that way. But as far as my faith and my love for Christ, when I say I'm going to be unapologetic, that's what I'm talking about. I won't apologize. I won't back down. I won't tell you I don't believe in God, or I won't tell you that I don't love God, because I do. He's everything to me. God is my life. My life is nothing without God, and it's been proven over and over again. There's multiple miracles we can talk about. You know what? That's a good topic for this episode. Let's go into some miracles. Let's talk about some things God's done for me personally or my family. Let's see. How far back do we need to go? 36 years ago this year, my birth. My parents didn't think I was ever going to exist. They didn't think they were going to have a kid. So time went on. They tried having me for years. I'm probably going to get the amount of years wrong, but something inside of me says either 13 or 17. I'm probably wrong on both of those, and I'm sure, hopefully one of them will comment, let me know. But, they tried for a long time to have me. There were family issues. My dad had some demons in his closet. We'll put it that way. I don't want to put his business out there. Not demons like he was a horrible person or he was possessed. That's kind of silly. Nothing that bad. But he did have his own things that he worked through, which, did get better with time. And he's a great man. I love him. I love him for that, especially. It's almost like, there were so many things fighting against them to have me, that over a certain amount of time, my dad started going to church. He got his life right with God, and he prayed. My parents prayed so hard for me, and it wasn't until my dad actually got over the things that he was doing at that time that God blessed them with me. And so, I was a miracle to them, because they were thinking, they're never going to have a kid. They're done. They're never going to have a child. And so here I am. My life went down a wrong road at a young age. I decided, I was raised in church. I was always, I was from a baby. I was the church baby. I was passed around. All the people in the church, held me at some point. I don't know how many people there changed my diaper, or, whatever, how many I ended up peeing on. But, ultimately I was the church baby. I took my first steps in the church. So God has been an influence in my life. And as I, grew up and I kind of stepped away from God, when I got to the point where I was like, I'm too cool to go to church. I don't really want this. I'd rather do other things, and I went through a rough patch where I decided, I'm gonna start stealing. I'm gonna start doing, just bad stuff. I'm gonna start. Me and my friends, we'd go to the mall every weekend. Let's steal some. I'm gonna age myself here a little bit, but let's steal some cassette tapes, because at the time it wasn't CD stores. There was cassette stores. There was a store called Tape World. That's how far back we're going. We're going to Tape World, which was a store that sold cassette tapes and VHS cassettes for your VCR, for your movies, for all you little kids out there. And so, I went through a phase where that was normal. Weekends for me was going out to the mall, stealing the newest albums on cassette. Didn't really bother me until I got busted one time, and I was actually trying to be like my buddy, and I, tried to steal a shirt from another store that he had the weekend before, stole that same shirt, and I wanted to be like him, and little did I know that wasn't what life was about. I didn't need to be like anyone else. I just need to be like Christ. And so, getting busted, going to juvenile, spending a little bit of time, not long, but enough to make me change who I was. And going through that changed a lot of who I am, because that was a big thing for me. And what really set me on a different path there was I seen how it affected my parents, and I seen how disappointed in me they were when they got that phone call and they had to come pick me up from juvenile. That's a phone call. I was like, just leave me in here, because if I go home with them, I'm not afraid I'm going to get beat. I'm afraid of how disappointed they're going to be in me. That was where it was for me. So going through that, being raised up, to the point where after that happened, I changed a lot of who I was. I got in contact with certain people that were in church, and they kind of helped me out. They kind of got me back in church. Fast forward to now, I've been ordained as a deacon. If you're familiar with the Baptist faith, you know what that is. And that is a big part of me as well. Also, meeting my wife, Lauren, we have, we've started teaching. We've been teaching for 7 or 8 years now. We've been teaching middle school, junior high class at church. So we're heavily involved in the youth of the church today, because that's, they're not the church of the future, as it always, you always hear. They're the church of now. They're actually, if we don't help them now, who's going to help them later? It's up to us, and that's what it should all be about. But kind of getting off topic here a little bit, that's actually the whole thing about me being going through my little rough spell. I kind of did give my testimony a little bit there. I had thought about doing that, but I didn't really plan on it, but I guess it kind of worked out that way. So I mean, it's to God the glory for everything that I do. And he turned around my life of going to juvenile, stealing stupid little petty stuff, to teaching kids and giving them my testimony, so that they know somebody else has been through it, and hopefully can help them to not go through it themselves, because it's not fun. I mean, I didn't have any rough childhood or any rough growing up by any means. I mean, I had very little happen to me as a kid, and so with that, it's it's good that I didn't face a lot, but the stuff that I did face, I think I was allowed to do that for a purpose, and it's up to me to make my purpose out of it. God allows us to go through things, and it's up to us to figure out if we're going to find the purpose in what we went through, or if we're going to let what we went through determine what happens to us in the future. I could say, yeah, I was a thief, I guess I'm always going to be a thief, and that's the way my life's going to work. Or I could say, I was a thief, God helped me out of that, and I'm not going to do that no more, but instead I'm going to help other kids so they don't take that path. So that's kind of where I went with it. So that's one miracle as far as God changing who I am. Another miracle is me being born in the first place. Another miracle is my son. Me and my wife, we didn't know we were going to have Ethan. We didn't know we were going to be able to have a child. And there was a lot of complications. There was a lot of trouble, including after he was born. We actually had him in the NICU, the NICU, and that was something that I don't want anyone that has a kid to ever have to go through that, because it was horrible. It's probably one of the most frustrating and scary things that I've ever been through, because you never know what's going to happen with your kid. You don't know if he's going to be okay, but glory be to God. I mean, every day, we went in and it's like, hey, we were able to lower the oxygen down. He's breathing a little bit better on his own. His heart rate's getting a little bit better. And before we knew it, it's like, hey, today's the day you get to take your son home. It was only 2 or 3 weeks, but it was enough to where it felt like it was a lifetime. But God has, given us miracles on a daily basis. We We wake up, we put our feet on the floor. We don't think twice about whether or not we're going to take that step. We know we're going to take that step. God doesn't promise us that step. God doesn't promise us the next breath that we breathe. God doesn't promise that when you blink your eyes, that your eyes are going to open again. He doesn't promise that. You understand what I'm saying? God does not promise you that if you blink your eyes and they open again, that they're not going to be black, that you're not going to see anything. God doesn't promise that when you take a breath in and you breathe out, that your lungs are going to immediately breathe back in. You don't have a promise that that's going to happen. So every breath that you have, every look that you give, every word that you speak, make it mean something. Make it mean something for Him. Show love. Show people that you care about them and that you love them, even if they don't act like they love you. It doesn't matter if they love you. Your life doesn't depend on their love for you. Your life depends on your love for them and what you do for other people. Ultimately, that's what we have to do. We have to love other people the way Christ loved us. Christ loved us so much that He died for us. The people around back then killed Him. Do you understand what that means? Like, we have to love people the way Christ loved us, not the way we expect them to love us. I can't love you, and that's dependent on how you're loving me. My love for you doesn't depend on what you think about me. I love you regardless. I love you no matter what you do or what you say to me. And until we can get to that point, then there's a problem in the world. Because we see love conditional. We see love based on, what have you done for me? What have you bought me? What have you said to me? What have you made me feel like? What color is your skin? What gender are you? What's your Republican or Democrat party affiliation? Are you independent? Are you left? Are you right? Do you believe in transsexuals? Do you believe in transgender? All these different things which make no difference in the end. Christ loved everyone. Christ loved us to the point that He died for us. He didn't just love the ones that were doing right. He didn't just love the ones that had it all together. He loved the prostitutes. He loved the sinners. He loved the gamblers. He loved the drug addicts. He loved the drunks. He loved the murderers. He loved the rapists. God loved. Jesus loves everyone. Jesus has always put that as the number one commandment. Love everyone else. Love God and love everyone else the way that you would want to be loved. And I got a little bit heavy here at the end, and that's okay. I told you sometimes I say things. It's going to be a vlog where I'm going to ramble and I'm going to say things that are very important to me sometimes, and sometimes they're just going to be off the wall nutty. And that's what I want this to be. I want it to be just kind of off the cuff. I didn't plan to say anything that I've said. Like I said at the beginning, I was going to go about 5 minutes, and then I said I might go 10. Here we are at 18. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog today. I love every one of you guys. I appreciate you so much. I really hope and pray that you have a wonderful day and that everything works out for you according to the glory of God. Thank you for following my vlog. I hope that I see you tomorrow, and love you guys. See you later.